That was absolutely unbelievable. What a performance from the youngsters, man. I am so impressed with the young players at Arsenal right now. Hale End, fantastic. The academy have done their job, and boy, we've got some seriously good players that are coming through the ranks right now. 5 goals today, 4 different goal scorers. Callum Chambers with 3 assists. I mean, who the hell do you pick as man of the match? I'll be intrigued to see who actually wins man of the match, because for me, there's 4 or 5 players that could easily be within a shout of man of the match tonight. Now, I know the opposition isn't the best, but Nottingham Forest, you never know. These kind of games can go very wrong. And we've played them before and we've struggled before. So winning 5-0 on the night with such, a weaker team, a rotated squad, is a very good thing. So Martinelli scoring twice. He opened the scoring and finished the scoring, which is it's not often the case. You often see players scoring a couple of goals in a row and it's just like a bit of momentum. But no, he opened the scoring, I think it was like the 30th minute, and then he finished it with a couple of minutes left on the clock. We then had Holding score, we had Willock, and we had Nelson in between. So it really was a couple of, I don't want to say just defensive errors from Nottingham Forest, because we played really good stuff today. And sure, against a Premier League side, maybe half of those goals wouldn't have happened. But the way I see it is, we scored 5 really well-worked goals today, whether or not it was helped slightly by a little bit of naivety on the Nottingham Forest defence. But I'm still so happy. Martinelli, oh my God. We're all going to be talking about Willock and Saka and Nelson in the opening games of this season because they've played more. But Martinelli, what a player. Brazilian flair. 2-star skills, 2-star weak foot on FIFA. I don't think so. He's some player, isn't he? He's going to be really, really, really good in the future if he can, stay grounded, work his way up there. Hard work pays off, and you can just see he's got the raw talent. His second goal tonight was probably my favourite goal of the night. The way he's just finessed it into that top right corner. Oh man, I smiled so hard when that goal went in. And I've got to say as well, because this isn't just about the 5-0 win. This was a monumental game for us in terms of seeing Tierney for the first time. That was his debut for Arsenal, and I'm so happy. Well, competitive debut, I should say. So happy to see him on the pitch. He looked really, really good despite being out for so long. He's been out for months. I think his last game was in January, was it not? It might even be longer than that. Of course, we saw Bellerin come back tonight as well. Holding got in there as well. Oh, he scored as well. And Bellerin got an assist, and literally my face just, from around the 65th minute onwards, I could not stop smiling. It was an incredible final 20 minutes. It really was. Quick shout to Chambers as well, because he won't get all the credit tonight. But do you know what? I might just say he was my man of the match. 3 assists, playing at right back, playing at left back, quite often cutting inside. And he did such a great job tonight. And a lot of people that especially are not Arsenal fans will write this off. It's 5-0 against Nottingham Forest. But Tottenham drew tonight against, Colchester. It can easily happen. Okay, you can put up these weaker sides and put out some of the kids and lose or draw. And we didn't. We managed to convincingly smash them 5-0, even though it was the last 20 minutes where they just looked tired. And I think in the end we had, I think it was like 67% of the possession, a lot of shots. I think we had close to 30 shots in this game compared to their 5, something like. It was unbelievable. So really, really happy with the team. Let's talk about the lineup, because I thought it was a nice lineup. I thought it really was. I think Emery got it right tonight because, of course, we've got Manchester United coming up. We need to rest a couple of players, and it's only the EFL Cup, and no one really cares, do they? But Martinez in goal. Wasn't his best ever performance, but he was solid. Clean sheet, made a couple of saves here and there. Well done to him. Chambers, my man of the match at right back, and he should be starting against Manchester United, no questions asked. Holding should be starting. He seems fit to me. Throw him in the team next to Chambers at centre back, and I would like to see Bellerin at right back, Tierney at left back, unless for some reason maybe they're not quite match sharp. Fair enough. Then we go with, we can't use Maitland-Niles because he's obviously suspended. So I think we probably will end up going with Chambers at right back, and we'll see Socrates and maybe Holding. No David Luiz, please. But shout out to Mustafi, who once again has come in and done a decent job. Maybe I didn't give him enough credit last time he played against, was it Frankfurt? But I think he did well tonight. He's a force up front, isn't he? When we have corners and stuff, he's always on the end of them. So I actually quite liked his performance tonight. But is he good enough to get the first? No. Is he good enough to go in ahead of David Luiz? That's the real question. You know, two questionable defenders go toe to toe, and I don't know who wins that. I think Mustafi still doesn't quite get in. I think David Luiz is slightly less woeful. At least he's got passing, right? So, yeah, I quite enjoyed the Holding Mustafi partnership. That was decent. And Tierney, I already said, really decent performance from him. He's just a completely different player to Kolasinac and Monreal. He just seems so much more calm. I don't know how else to explain it. He's not always looking to blast forward. He's always very methodical, and he seems to understand the game a little bit. I don't know what it is. Maybe he understands the game a little bit more than Kolasinac, and he's just got a bit more of a football head, a bit more of a defensive brain, and I liked that. And it's not all about going up and getting crosses in the box. He did that a lot, but he also did the defensive work very well indeed. Torreira starting was interesting. I was hoping that maybe he wouldn't start today because I want him to start at Old Trafford. But once again, we see it. We're a better team with Torreira. You put him in that lineup for Manchester United 100%. And you know what? Him and Willock were playing centre mid, and we had Ceballos at one point, but Ozil at the start of this game playing ahead of them. So it looked like a 4-2-3-1, to be fair, or a 4-2-1-3, whatever you want to call it. Is that 4? Yeah, that does add up. I was just getting a little bit 4-2-3-1. That doesn't sound good. 4-2-1-3. It doesn't sound the same. I liked 4-2-3-1. Okay, we're going to stick with that. We play so many different formations. You can call it whatever you want, but Mesut Ozil played behind the striker and had wingers on the outside of him. Does that make sense? So I liked Willock next to Torreira. I think I prefer Willock maybe not so far forward when we've maybe played, like at Newcastle, for example. He did go forward quite a lot. I like him when he gets a little bit deeper because he's a great runner with the ball. And I like that about him. He's able to carry it forward, which Granit Xhaka can't do, for sure. So that's another bonus to have him over him. Guendouzi can do it, so that's another reason to not have Xhaka. Ceballos can do it, another reason not to have Granit Xhaka. Put it this way, if Granit Xhaka starts against Manchester United, I will not be happy because we can all see it, plain as day, he does not get into our first team right now. And for me, the midfield three should be Guendouzi, Torreira with Willock. Three in midfield that can all interchange and do everything you need to do as a midfielder. That's what I would like to see. And Mesut Ozil, by the way, was very good tonight. Against lower opposition, he doesn't have to run as hard at home as well. And he made some good passes. He's influential. Everyone wants to give him the ball. He's an outlet. He's also the creative mastermind. So I really enjoyed his performance tonight. He didn't look happy coming off, and I get that. But we technically played better without him. And that does say a lot, doesn't it, really? A player of his quality just isn't adding enough, maybe. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on Ozil's performance tonight. Smith Rowe, I don't know what's happened. I haven't looked up what happened to him. It didn't look good. He's been stretchered off. And it wasn't just the stretcher, it was the medical board. And I don't know if he was maybe taken straight to hospital. If that's the case, it doesn't look good, does it? And it's a real shame because he was looking really good. He was having a very good game. So best wishes to Smith Rowe. But got to say that Saka came on in his place and did a very, very good job once again. Really impressed with him. And then, of course, Nelson. Fantastic game from him. Assist, goal, hit the bar once or the post. And then, of course, Martinelli with his 2 goals tonight. I mean, in general, the whole team was just fantastic. And the whole time, I was just so pleased in that second half seeing the likes of Bellerin come back. The likes of Tierney starting today, and then seeing Holding score. The moment he got the captain's armband on, he went and scored with his first touch from the corner. It's just happy days, man. Happy days. What a comeback against Aston Villa. A lovely routine win at home against Nottingham Forest with the second/reserve team, which is really, really a good achievement. A 1-0 victory, sure, it's a win, right? But a 5-0 victory, that's just a convincing win. That's and the stats prove it. So going into Manchester United at the weekend, they've just lost against West Ham. They are down right now. I don't know if Pogba's going to be fit. There's already a few injuries lining up there. We're at home. I think we could see a nice scoreline here. But it really, really depends on the lineup. So if you were Emery right now, Think about it in your head. If you're not an Arsenal fan, I get it. Maybe you don't care enough, but I'm going to go through it with you guys right now. What would your lineup be? Because for me, it is a very simple system, a 4-3-3, and I would be going with Leno in goal. I'd be going with Chambers at right back because if Bellerin's not fit, we can't use Maitland-Niles, so Chambers would have to go in. And then I'd be going with Sokratis, Holding if he's fit, and Tierney if he's fit. If not, then obviously Kolasinac gets in. If Bellerin can play, then I wouldn't want Sokratis. I'd go with Chambers and Holding. So it really depends on fitness levels and match sharpness, but that's my back five. I would then like to see a 3 midfield. Think of it as a CDM and 2 centre mids. I'd go Torreira in the middle. I'd have Willock on the right, and I would have Guendouzi on the left. But what I would like to see is Willock pushing forward, Torreira going behind Willock when he runs forward, acting as that anchor, the DM, and then Guendouzi in between doing his box-to-box magic that he's been doing all season long. And then I would like to see Aubameyang up top, I'd like to see Nelson on the left, and I would like to see Pepe on the right. If Nelson isn't starting, I think he should personally, Saka can come in and do a good job. If not, Martinelli. I mean, he can play on the left as well. So that would be my lineup. I'm really, really praying that we do have Bellerin fit and Tierney fit, so we can see Chambers come in next to Holding. But ultimately, we're going to see Granit Xhaka in midfield. We're going to see David Luiz and Sokratis. It probably is exactly what's going to happen with Emery. And it's sad because I think, the whole of last season, I rarely questioned some of his choices. The first 3 or 4 months doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't really count because he's getting to know the squad. He's learning what the best formation is. And now that we're well over a season in, now we're starting to realise he's just not doing what we as fans think is right. But you've got to trust him. We'll see how that game goes. I'm really excited for it. Thank you for watching this review. If you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like rating. And I will see you guys for that match review after the Manchester United game at the weekend.